Hi, it's Brian from Community Martial Arts. This time we'll do some basic movement in the front stance and the back stance. We need to learn how to do these techniques, and then we'll add our punches and kicks and so on. In the front stance, most of the weight is going to be over top of the front foot. Our feet are going to be slightly wider than our shoulders. This front leg is going to be straight up and down. The knee is going to be bent, so this leg is straight up and down. The back leg is locked up tight. Both feet are looking straight ahead. Both feet are looking straight ahead. I'm not going to have this foot here. I'm not going to have this foot here. Both feet are looking in about the same direction. The way we get into our front stance, I'm not going to worry too much about the hands right now. The way we get into our front stance is the right foot comes back in, close, and then does a C coming back out. On this side, from here, the right foot comes in and does a C coming out. Both feet are looking in the same direction, and then this leg is locked up and this knee is bent. As we walk, in the Shotokan walk, in the front stance, we shift our weight this front foot to this front foot. The way we do that is this foot comes in and back out in the letter C, and then we shift into our next stance. So we'll step back with our right side, we're into our front stance. Our shoulders are over top of our hips, a nice straight back. We keep the eyes up. We move in, and then we come back out. Now both feet are looking in the same direction. This knee is now bent. This leg is straight. Come in again. Come in one more time. Going back is exactly the same thing. We come back, go back again, go back again. We practice that back and forth over and over and over again because many blocks, many punches, many of our strikes are going to be from this stance. So let's move in and let's move out again. Go in and out into our front stance again. Zen Kuzudachi. In and out into our stance again. One more time. In and out. Now we'll go backwards. In and out. Keep the head at the same level. In and out. In and out. From the side, we're going to step back on the right side into our front stance, or Zen Kuzudachi. We're going to come forward, in and out, into a C, in and out. Going backwards, don't let that back foot ride up as you go backwards. Start to shift your weight, bend that knee, and go backwards. Shift your weight, bend that knee, and go backwards. That way, your foot won't ride up as you go backwards. So we'll do it one more time from here. We'll step back, and we'll walk forward into our Zen Kuzudachi front stance here. Our eyes are up, our back is nice and straight. In and out again. Let's go backward and go backward. As you're coming forward in this stance now, I want you to think about being in a pool of water. You're going to push with this part of your body, you're going to push the water forward. That's going to give us more power as we move forward. So from here, push, push, and push again. Good. Now come back. Every time you take your stance, I want you to breathe either through your nose or through your mouth. One more time, we'll push and we'll breathe. We'll go from one stance to the next. Push. That's it. Let's go backwards. Now, as we start to feel good about this, we'll start to punch. As we come forward, this foot is forward, that hand is forward. We're going to step forward, get into a good foundation, and then we'll punch. We'll step forward, get into a good foundation, and then we'll punch. We'll step backward, get into a strong stance, punch. Step backward, into a strong stance, punch. And this way, we'll We'll step back. This foot is forward. We step forward and punch. We step forward, punch. We go back, punch. We go back, punch. The more you do that stance, the better you'll get, and then you'll be able to add the blocks and the kicks. Our next stance is an L stance, back stance. This time, most of the weight is on the back leg. It's an L stance because our feet form an L as we do the stance. When we walk forward in that, we'll step back with the right side again. We'll go into our L stance. Most of the weight's on the back. When we step forward, the first walk was very wide. This is very narrow. We come forward, our foot comes straight, right beside the other one, into our next L stance. The weight is on the back leg. We come forward again, into our L stance. Again, our back is nice and straight. We come back, our foot comes right beside the other one, right beside the other one. From this way, when I step back into my L stance, most of the weight is on the back leg. Front stance, the weight is here. Back stance, the weight is here. I come forward into my L stance this way. Most of the weight is on the back leg. To my L stance, again this way. I go backward and back again. Forward again, keeping the back straight. Breathe. And again. Now as I go backward, don't let that foot ride up. As I go backward, just bring the weight back and that foot stays solid to the floor. The weight back. We do it one more time. Come forward into an L stance, back stance this way. Forward, shift the weight back so that foot doesn't rise up. Go back and go back. Practice your walking in both the front stance and the back stance. It's the whole foundation of your karate. Once you have a good foundation, you can learn all the blocks and all the punches and all the strikes that you need to do. Thank you very much.